Alright, so in the last lecture we left off, we learned about layouts, okay? We had created two side-by-side buttons, very cool concept. And now I just want to briefly touch base on the concept of fill, okay? So I'm going to delete one button, okay? And I'm going to delete these frames and stuff, so bear with me here. Let me see what I'm doing. Let's actually, you know what? Let's keep 4 buttons, alright? Button 4, button 3, button 2, button 1, except delete these frames. We no longer need these frames as of right now. So we've learned about frames, that was fantastic, and also make sure you change all the frame parameters to none. So none, 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 and none, alright? And then what I want you to do is, I want to talk about the concept of filling. So let's say you have a screen, okay, and this screen is resizable. So what I mean by resizable is right now in your video you're seeing that the screen can now be resized from this big, to this big, and so on, right? I think I might have opened my system preferences, so let me just quickly close that. All right. So the whole concept of resizable is that your screen can go bigger and smaller and so on. However, these buttons don't. Right now, if we F5, so F5 save, okay, you're going to notice that our buttons stay put, okay? No matter how big the screen becomes, no matter how much resizing you do, the buttons will remain the exact same size, exact same width, exact same height. So my Python launcher is taking some time to load. Bear with me here, but yes. So the whole concept of fill here is that, yay. So right now, if I expand, if I make these bigger, if I make them smaller, nothing happens. The buttons remain the same size they are. Now, what if you wanted so that as we increase the size, we want the width to also increase? As we resize, we want the height to increase or decrease. Well, this is where the fill concept comes in, all right? So let's go ahead and quickly discuss it. For the first button, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to keep that in the middle as an example button. All right. Now our second button, we've done button due to pack side is equal to left, so it's left-sided. Let's make it fully fill X. Okay. So side is equal to left, fill is equal to X, and all fill equal to X means is, hey, I want you to completely fill the X coordinate. Okay, and if you ever use a Cartesian plane, you know X is the horizontal, Y is the vertical. So we're basically saying fill completely the horizontal width. All right. Now button 3, I'm gonna go ahead and say side is equal to right, and I'm gonna say fill will now be equal to Y. All right. So side is equal to right, fill is equal to Y, and if you've already guessed, fill equal to Y means vertically, I want you to fill this button the entire space of whatever the window is. And for our fourth button, we're just going to leave it just like that and back in the center, I guess. We're not going to even touch that for now. All right. So again, if you're on Windows, definitely try this out with backgrounds. Make sure you add some BG colors as well. Maybe a nice white or maybe yellow BG color for our first button and so on. Again, since I'm not on a Windows machine, you won't be able to see the results. I guess this is one of your incentives to buy a Windows machine if you ever wanted to. Otherwise, I'm sorry if you're on a Mac. Again, I'm facing the exact same difficulty, but if you're on a Windows, yay. So go ahead, save this, F5, and you're not going to notice via the fill function, alright, so it gives me this error, name right is not defined. So that is because I have not made these in caps. My bad. Save this, F5. And now we should now see the build working. So I'm going to go ahead and expand this and voila. Pretty interesting, right? So let's take a look back at what the code we wrote. Button 2 was supposed to fill horizontally completely. What's happening? Doesn't look like it, right? The reason being is this. So our hello and our hello, these two buttons are, I guess what you'd say, colliding with each other. So since this button 2 and button 3 are on the same page, as you might say, they're not working. So what we have to do is we have to make one of their sides back normal. All right, so no side for that guy. And by doing so, it'll now be centered. So technically, even with the fill is equal to X, the side shouldn't even matter because you're filling completely horizontally. So no matter left, center, or right, the whole area will be covered. So save this, F5, and now we should finally see our two buttons working. So take a look, guys. Pretty cool. Our hello button is now going horizontally the entire length of our screen, and our other hello button, this vertical one, is now increasing or decreasing with the vertical increase or decrease of our window. So again, very cool function that you can use with the fill. If you're trying to make your website or make your app, this sort of interactive fill, whereas the user minimizes or increases the size, you want the buttons to move along with it. Definitely check it out. Awesome job. So, alright, so fantastic job. We have now learned about this fill statement. We have realized how it can be used in the Tkinter module. And in the next lecture, Alright, so very nifty function. This fill function where horizontally and vertically both you can have our button, resize itself. And I guess I'll see you in the next lecture.